this is Jasmine and welcome to another Sketchbook Sunday. This Sketchbook Sunday is special because it lands on the 1st of October, and you know what that means? Art prompts. So I'm not doing Inktober. I thought about doing Inktober, but I didn't really want to do just all black and white and then record it and have just a bunch of black and white stuff up on my YouTube. I know that a lot of people would really like that, but it just wasn't for me. I am, however, going to do Kattober. So Kattober is a challenge that was put out by Catvalk. It's 31 days of cats throughout October. And any medium, stuff like that, we just follow the prompt list and have it inspire what I'm going to do. And I thought I would take that opportunity to practice my gouache skills. This is a sketchbook video because I'm going to be doing all these in my sketchbook. I do not have the time to do like a full, beautiful rendered piece for every single day. But I am going to do, hopefully, a piece with subject and background. If you would like to see the Kattober prompt list, I will put it in the description below, and I hope you guys check it out because Catvalk is amazing and her prompt list is so cute and inspiring. It's not too specific or too either modern or medieval or something like that. So, like, you really get a big variety of, you could make something like more modern or futuristic, or you could make something more fantasy like I like to do, because there are prompts like, you know, magic-y kind of prompts and whatnot, but obviously in modern day that can be just Halloween stuff, you know, decorations and whatnot. But I especially like that because I don't like to do prompts that are too specific, like baseball or train or something like that, because I feel like they're more modern and like they have a specific time that they have to be in, and I can't do like, I don't know, a prehistoric piece or something if I wanted to. So let's jump right into the first prompt of the season, which is leaves, and this could really go any direction. I had a few thoughts thumbnailed. Well, mostly had one thought thumbnailed. I was like, okay, so it could be like a cat jumping into a pile of leaves, like very, very basic. But I had this thought of a cat wearing like a big maple leaf for a mask, like kind of a mysterious figure sort of thing. I think there's something in the newer Zelda games, the Koroks, I think. Yeah, Koroks. I haven't played those games. I really want to. Anyways, they have like leaves for faces, I think. And I don't know if I was inspired by that or not. It was just like the first thing that came to mind was like a cat with a leaf on its face. But I do see the resemblance, yes. I turned it into kind of like a group of mysterious cat beings with these leaves, and I wanted to give them each a different type of leaf. I've never successfully completed one of these 30-day or month-long art prompt challenges. I've wanted to, and I've started them so many times. Like, I've started Inktober a couple times. I've tried to do Kattober in previous years, and I don't get very far in them, but I am hoping that this time will be different. Hopefully I get them all done, and I'm also hoping to share them all with you guys. So the next few Sketchbook Sundays will probably be me doing gouache, like Kattober pieces. But it is a lot of effort to do anything more than like a tiny little doodle. I feel like I definitely could have done it if I was basically thumbnailing, or maybe thumbnailing in pen and adding a little bit of water. But I wanted to practice and do actual full pieces, if not highly refined. And that is, I mean, quite simply, it is a challenge. I did have some major drawbacks the last few times I tried to do them, though, in the respect that I was working full-time. But at the moment, I am not working full-time outside of the home. I am focusing on my art and freelance and Patreon, and trying to really push that, and maybe conventions, and just follow my dreams and my artistic goals. Hopefully something comes of it, but that does give me a lot of not exactly downtime, but it gives me a lot of time to work on these art pieces, because it's another reason why I am doing like full pieces, is because they can really give me a lot of content and will be fun at the same time. As for this piece itself, I'm extremely happy with how it turned out. I ended up going with only 2 of these cat creatures instead of the 3 that was in my tiny thumbnail, but that's just because compositionally it looked better that way. It had like a bit of an ugly phase with the background. I was concerned about the foliage. I really liked how the bottom was turning out, like the leafy foreground, but I was a little concerned about the bushes in the back. Like, I liked the trees, but the bushes, I like kept putting layers on, and I was like, I hope this turns out better, and it did. I know I talk about that in pretty much all of my videos, but I think it's important that newer artists that might be coming across my channel look at it and they realize, oh, every artist, no matter their skill level, goes through that kind of thought process, and that every artist goes through parts of their painting where they think, oh no, this is not going to turn out, but then it does in the long run. Basically kind of just inspiring people to push through the ugly phase, because it is almost always just a phase of your painting, and even if you don't like the end result by the time you're done and you can't finish it anymore, pushing through will give you more experience and show you more of what it is that you need to work on and what it is that you're getting right. So even if you don't like the end result of your piece, if you only ever get halfway and then you give up, you never work on the skills of finalizing your paintings, and therefore you're going to end up with a lot of paintings that don't get done. You're gonna find it very difficult to finish pieces because you gave up and you didn't learn what you needed to by making mistakes in your earlier paintings. So that's just a little piece of advice if you're feeling down on yourself because your pieces just keep not turning out how you want. Think about it. If you keep giving up on them, try finishing some and seeing what it is that you might be able to change in the process to make your pieces what you want them to become. Okay, let's talk about the actual art process a little bit. I was concerned going into it because I'm not used to gouache, but that's the whole point that I was doing this Kattober challenge, is to get used to my gouache. I'm using it in dried form, so I have a little palette that I put gouache in and I let it dry, and then I'm using that, like re-wetting it and trying to get the look that I want. The thing about the dried gouache is that I can't go in as opaque as I might want to sometimes. Like, you really got to work at it and make sure you have the proper amount of water or lack thereof. But it really works out for me because I like to work in layers. So when I was using the gouache straight out of the tube, I had this problem where I would go in too thick too fast. I would try and use it sort of like acrylic. I'd use a little bit of water to get a flow, but I wouldn't really be layering it up. And I'm starting to realize with this piece that is what I like to do. I put the water down, I put it down kind of like watercolor, and then I just slowly layer it up, layer after layer, and it turns out really neat. I like it. You can see the other layers below, and it just gives it a kind of quality that you don't get in any other paint that I have tried. Now, I'm not too worried about making my piece entirely one medium, as you can see here and in my previous stuff. I don't really care about a watercolor piece being all watercolor or a gouache piece being all gouache. So I go in here in the end with a white gel pen and with some ink, and I just really solidify some of the darks because gouache doesn't get super dark. But I did try and go in really lightly with the ink because ink tends to be a little bit shiny and gouache is completely matte, and I just didn't want to mess with the look too much. If you guys are interested in doing Kattober yourselves, again, I will put the link in the description. It is by Kat Volk. She's amazing. And if you're interested in any more of my work, I'm Jasmine Selmer pretty much everywhere. And you can find me at jasmineselmer.com. Well, that's it for this day 1 of leaves, and thanks for stopping by.